أعطي الآن الكلمة إلى ممثلة لبنان. تفضلي.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, allow me to start by thanking you for organizing this important meeting and for circulating the concept note, Role of Youth in Countering Violent Extremism and Promoting Peace, and commend His Royal Highness for chairing this meeting and for his commitment to youth issues. I would also like to express our deep appreciation for the Secretary General and all the briefers. Mr. President, today there are over 1 billion youth around the world, a young population characterized by unprecedented accessibility to information technology. At the same time, this population faces many challenges which exacerbate its vulnerability, with more than 6 million youth living in fragile and conflict regions and about 75 million unemployed. Youth are to be found on both sides of terrorist activities. They are targeted in their schools, universities, and homes in Palestine, Libya, Yemen, Pakistan, Central Africa, Kenya. And youth are targeting journalists and tourists in Paris, Tunisia, Sweden, and Brussels, among other places. This alarming phenomena emphasizes that terrorist attacks transcend borders and are not limited to one country, religion, or ethnicity, and represent a serious threat to international peace and security around the world. Mr. President, prevention starts on benches in schools and continues throughout the social mobility chain. Education is pivotal in building up the resilience of future generations. It should engrave in them knowledge, human rights, understanding of the other, openness, dialogue, tolerance, and the rule of law. It should promote critical thinking that would help fight bigotry, stereotyping, and essentialism. Education should also be oriented to the need of the labor market and to ensure a dignified livelihood, social inclusion, and wider participation in the public political sphere. Mr. President, the fight for the youth mind should continue by standing up to the attractiveness of extremist and intolerant religious figures. Modern and attractive social organization for the youth should constitute a better alternative to educate and prepare those youth for leadership posts and positive role models. The United Nations in all its organs and specialized agencies should continue to work relentlessly to address the root causes of terrorism, to fully implement strategies highlighting the interlinkages between peace and development, with a strong emphasis on youth needs, and most importantly, putting an end to impunity and double standards in the implementation of law and ensuring justice. Mr. President, the Middle East and the Arab world are informed by Israeli occupation, protracted conflicts, violations of human rights, shattered dreams, unprecedented surge in terrorism, and radicalization, with its main focus on the youth, who represent 1/3 of our Arab population. Aware that the youth are our ray of hope in the midst of all these challenges, my government adopted in 2012 the Youth Policy in Lebanon, drafted by them and capturing their priorities in 5 areas, namely demography and economic participation, education and culture, health, social integration, and political participation. Moreover, the vibrant civil society in Lebanon always offered platforms for inclusive dialogue between its youth with full respect of their intellectual diversity. Suffice to mention, Common Space Initiative, whose objective is to build youth capacity in debate and solution formulation to national and regional programs, and Adyan workshops, during which young people like Sarah, a Lebanese young woman, are determined to break stereotypes and draw a different picture about Islam than the one promoted by terrorism and extremism. Mr. President, this journey at the national, regional, and international level will not be successful if our youth are not our partners in elaborating a plan of action to fight terrorism. They are not only the future generation. We need to involve them now in today's affairs to secure a better future for all of us. And I thank you, Mr. President.
أشكر ممثلة لبنان على بيانها.